RPN, the Roddenberry Podcast Network.
Today's daily Star Trek news is supported by listeners like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/Daily Star Trek News. Hello and welcome to your daily Star Trek news from the Roddenberry Podcast Network. I'm Allison Pitt, and today is Wednesday, August 12th, 2020. On today's show, Alex Kurtzman praises the amazing experiment of Star Trek short tracks and floats the idea of a musical episode. George Takei is set to help the U.S. Postal Service launch a new set of stamps honoring Japanese sculptor Ruth Asawa, and I'm heading back in time for this week's Star Trek history. All of that coming up next. In a video interview with Gold Derby, executive producer Alex Kurtzman sat down to discuss the recent Emmy nomination for Star Trek short tracks in the category of Outstanding Short-Form Comedy or Drama Series. Now, we can all be excited to see where this unique branch of the Star Trek franchise will go next, but Kurtzman just might be more excited than most. With his finger on the pulse of Star Trek short treks, audiences might even get to see a Star Trek musical. With their elements of comedy and tragedy, animated stories, and surprising twists, the short treks are a kind of playground for the creative team. This affords them the opportunities to explore, as Kurtzman says, different tones and different styles and start pushing at the boundaries of what Star Trek feels like it can be. But it isn't all about creating something different for audiences. Calling the short treks an amazing experiment, Kurtzman acknowledged the provenance of Star Trek and its importance moving forward in working to maintain what is essentially Star Trek, which is this hard-won vision of optimism that is so essential to Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future. But will we get to see more Star Trek short treks coming from the franchise? Thanks to the Emmy nomination, I'm really hoping so, Kurtzman said in the interview. With so many directions a versatile show like short treks can go in, it seems the possibilities are endless. Kurtzman suggested one possibility which would certainly be new for the franchise, a Star Trek short treks musical. Now, there are many different types of musicals out there, and while Kurtzman didn't give any details about what his musical entry to Star Trek would be like, anything is possible. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to see a Klingon opera. Check out the full video interview with Alex Kurtzman on goldderby.com, and be sure to catch all of the Star Trek short treks, streaming now on CBS All Access. Up next, are you into philately? I know I am. If you're a Star Trek fan and a stamp fan, then you'll want to know about an event coming up tomorrow. Sadly, there are no new Star Trek stamps on offer, but one Star Trek celeb is helping dedicate a new stamp series. George Takei, Star Trek's helmsman Sulu, will be helping with the dedication of a new set of stamps honoring Japanese sculptor Ruth Asawa. The United States Postal Service is hosting the event live tomorrow afternoon. That's Thursday, August 13th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to join in and watch, you can do so on the USPS's Facebook and Twitter pages. Ruth Asawa is known for her intricate abstract wire sculptures. From the USPS announcement, inspired by natural elements such as plants, snail shells, spider webs, insect wings, and water droplets, Ruth Asawa transformed industrial material into transparent and seemingly weightless works of art that challenged traditional definitions of sculpture. The USPS also notes that Asawa was a tireless advocate of community-based arts education. The stamps in her honor feature 10 of her designs. Takei will be present at the event in his capacity as trustee, chair emeritus of the Board of Trustees, and founding member of the Japanese American National Museum in Los Angeles. Takei also has a personal connection to Asawa. They were both held in the same U.S. incarceration camp in World War II. In a statement from the Japanese American National Museum, Takei said, "We take great pride in the life and art of Ruth Asawa, and congratulate her family on being honored by the U.S. Postal Service with a forever stamp. May this stamp live long and prosper. You can find out more about tomorrow's event and help support the U.S. Postal Service by pre-ordering a set of stamps for yourself at USPS.com/Asawa stamps. Now, in just a moment, I'll be taking you back in time to find out what happened this week in Star Trek history, but first, a word from me. What's the easiest way to make sure that you don't miss any of the latest daily Star Trek news? Sign up for the newsletter. We deliver headlines and the full stories straight to your inbox every weekday. You can click through to the stories online or share them with your friends with a minimum of effort. And signing up? That's easy too. Just head to dailystartreknews.com/contact to sign up. All you need is your email address, and we'll never sell it on to anyone else. Once again, that's dailystartreknews.com/contact, and a big thanks to you for supporting this show. And now, a look back into Star Trek history. It was today, August 12th, back in 1910, that actor Jane Wyatt was born. Wyatt originated the role of Amanda Grayson, Spock's mother, in Star Trek. She played the role only twice, once in the TOS episode Journey to Babel, and again in the film Star Trek IV, The One with the Whales. Outside of Star Trek, Wyatt had an extensive career in films and television, with credits going back to 1934. Some of her notable roles include Frank Capra's film Lost Horizon, the TV series Father Knows Best, and an episode of Wagon Train, the one not to the stars. Wyatt passed away at the age of 96 on October 20th, 2006. She would have been 110 years old today. Tune in again next Wednesday for more Star Trek history. Well, that's it for today's daily Star Trek news from the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Don't forget to check out the other great shows on the network at podcasts.roddenberry.com. Daily Star Trek News is produced by me, Allison Pitt, with selected stories by Chris Peterson. We're supported by people like you through Patreon. Find out how you can add your support at patreon.com/Daily Star Trek News. Don't forget, you can sign up for the Daily Star Trek newsletter at dailystartreknews.com/contact. Get all the day's Star Trek news delivered straight to your inbox every weekday morning. And if email's not your thing, then don't forget to follow Daily Star Trek News on social media. We're at Daily Trek News on Twitter and Instagram. I'm back tomorrow with more of the Star Trek news you need to know and the weekend's Star Trek events. I'm Allison Pitt. Live long and prosper.
Podcast.roddenberry.com, the Roddenberry Podcast Network.